Now, Inauguration Day weather history. Since Inauguration Day is coming up, let's go ahead and cover some interesting events in Inauguration Day weather history. Now, back during the Revolutionary War, George Washington, back in April 30th. Inauguration Day hasn't always been in January, and we'll get into why that is here in a little bit. But the weather was described as gray and overcast in the morning, which later gave way to clear skies for Washington's first inauguration in New York City. The temperature at noon was right around 50 degrees. Civil War era, Abraham Lincoln, the second inauguration back on March 4th, 1865. Weather records were not as well documented, as I mentioned earlier, but the general climate of March in Washington, D.C. can be cold with potential for rain or snow. However, specific details for this inauguration aren't well preserved because they didn't really keep documents back then of the weather conditions. They kept some journal of it, but not really preserved, unfortunately. Post-Civil War into the early 20th century. William Henry Harrison, I'm actually related to him, actually. March 4th, 1841. This is one of the most famous examples where weather had a dire consequence. The day was cloudy, chilly, with temperatures ranging from a morning low of 34 degrees to an afternoon high of 51 degrees. Harrison gave a long speech without wearing a coat or hat, leading to speculation that the exposure contributed to his illness and death from pneumonia. Ulysses S. Grant's second inauguration from March 4th, 1873. It was bitterly cold with a morning low of 4 degrees and only rising to 16 degrees by noon. Wind chills were well below zero with strong wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour. This remains the coldest March inauguration on record. William Howard Taft, March 4th, 1909. A powerful storm brought a record of 9.8 inches of snow to D.C., leading to the ceremony being moved indoors. This was one of the most dramatic weather events during an inauguration, with the parade route cleared only after significant effort by thousands of workers. They were hard workers back in the day. 20th century and beyond. Franklin D. Roosevelt's second inauguration, January 20th, 1937. This was the first inauguration held on January 20th due to the 20th Amendment. It was a cold, rainy day with a total of almost 2 inches of rain, setting a record for rainfall on January 20th in Washington, D.C. John F. Kennedy, one of the greatest presidents of all time, back in 1961 on January 20th, and a snowstorm which led to 8 inches of snowfall on the eve of inauguration caused chaos, including traffic jams despite the clearing skies by morning. The day was bitterly cold with a noon temperature of 22 degrees, with strong northwest winds making it feel much colder. Ronald Reagan had two inaugurations, January 20th, 1981, and on January 21st, 1985. Ronald Reagan holds the record for both the warmest, 55 degrees in 1981, and the coldest, 7 degrees on 1985. In 1985, the ceremony had to be moved indoors due to the extreme cold, with wind chills reaching 20 degrees below zero. Now, the most recent inaugurations, Obama back in 2009. This was notably cold with a noon temperature of 28 degrees, one of the chillier January inaugurations in recent history. Donald J. Trump, the legend himself. Back in 2017, temperatures were above average, topping out in the upper 40s, making this one of the warmer inaugurations, but it was marked by rain, creating a gloomy, damp atmosphere. Of course, we got Biden. Back in 2021, the weather was chilly, with temperatures around 40 degrees during the ceremony, with some early flurries reported, but no significant accumulation. So we can see the different kinds of weather during the presidencies, and even William Henry Harrison died because of the weather, because he had pneumonia. Let's go and take a look at the folklore, weather omens, snow or cold. There's a belief that the weather on Inauguration Day can predict the tone of the presidency. Cold or snowy conditions are sometimes interpreted as a sign of a challenging term ahead. So basically means it'll be a challenging time ahead for Trump because he has a lot of work to do to undo the mess Biden's created. This was notably mentioned during the inauguration of presidents like William Henry Harrison, which died of pneumonia because of the cold, and also JFK, both of whom faced significant issues, of course, because both died during their presidency. JFK got assassinated, and of course, William Henry Harrison died of pneumonia. Rain on Inauguration Day has been seen as an omen of tears or hardships. The inauguration of FDR on a rainy day in 1937 amidst the Great Depression, which fed into that narrative. Inauguration mishaps, the curse of Tippecanoe. I find this one to be very fascinating. The legend claims that presidents elected every 20 years after William Henry Harrison in 1840 would die in office. Harrison, Lincoln, Garfield, McKinley, Harding, FDR, and JFK all fit this pattern. While not specifically related to the day of inauguration, the curse adds an element of superstition to the start of a presidency. I find that to be very fascinating. Course number 3, we got the Bible, which typically they use the Golden Bible, but I guess majority of different presidents use different kind of Bibles. We can see the choice of the Bible for the swearing in office is seen as symbolic. For instance, using a family Bible, a historic one from significant figure or one particular institution can convey messages about the incoming president's values or intended legacy, which most likely Trump's going to use the Golden Bible for this because, of course, he likes gold and gold is good luck. Number 4 is the last one I'll go through here. Inauguration speech length and omens. There's a folklore around the length of the inaugural address. William Henry Harrison's lengthy outdoor speech in cold weather is often cited in folklore as leading to his death, of course, symbolizing how the start of a presidency might set the tone of his upcoming presidency. So it's looking like Trump's going to be having a challenging time ahead because it's going to be a cold one, but that's with every president. And best of luck to Trump's presidency. Hopefully we have a great 4 years with him as we strengthen our country up and get back on track. We make our country great again and make weather forecasting great again as well.